Hello again and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages Blind. But this is still part of my post-commentary, by the way, through the Crown Dungeon, because Audacity decided to fail. I worked my way around after, oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, this was after I did that puzzle, and now I cut back to this area that I was at before. And, essentially, worked my way around here with bombs, even though I could have used my sword there. I spent a little bit too much time on this Mace Knight here. He's a little bit too hard for this point in the game. You can't use the hook on him, and that thing spins around far too much to hit it with your sword unless you're facing him from the left, with leaving bombs basically as your only option, and you have to know how to time them well. And you see my bad luck with bombs in full swing again here. I'm not sure why I kept this, and basically just because it's showing how bad I am. I guess, I don't know. Yeah, there's been a lot of cutting that I'm doing for this. Oh, yike-a-roonies. Yeah, I got down to that 3/4 of a heart, decided to save. Because this was not going my way. I tried using fire, ember seeds, those didn't work. And you would think I was trying to do something by defeating this enemy. Nope. You know what you get for defeating the enemies in this room? Bupkis! Jack crap. And they'll accept a heart if they decide to if they decide to drop one. But yeah, that was it. I'm surprised they didn't do something with this puzzle coming up. It was considering what the dungeon item is. Yeah, it's dark. The whole area is dark, so you'd figure you would need something to light it up. That's why I immediately used my seeds. I tried to search around looking for a torch to hit or something, and no, nothing of the sort. And then I tried using the hook with the moblins here, trying to feel my way around. Like, yeah, that was a bad idea. In any case, after I fell off a few times, I was just like, no, I'm out of here. Screw this. And I put this in because, like I was saying before, this screen, Maple kept appearing. I don't know why. This was the 3rd time she appeared in my multiple runs to get healed by the fairy that's around here. And of course, just my luck, the ring appears right the hell under her, so it's just like, yeah. I would have laughed if she actually went left looking for other stuff. And anyways, yeah, I just showed myself going back here once, but I must have gone back here in this recording session like at least 3 or 4 times, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I cut back here to where I got that, to use the key that I got here. I duped around with this puzzle a little bit. I figured I needed a symmetry again, which is something that these 8-bit Zelda games seem to like. Like, I stood there for a little bit, I tried to push them, tried to be symmetrical somewhere else, and yeah, let's try it a 3rd time, because the first 2 times worked just fine, right? Yeah. And on the 4th, too, yeah. I guess because it didn't take too long. I mean, that lasted like a good 15 seconds, thereabouts, if I'm getting the impression correctly from where I'm looking. Oh, actually, more like 30 seconds. Anyway, yeah, I got these. Opening up the door, and we have a cute little color-oriented puzzle here that puts that you don't have to use the Rock's Feather to use. This is part of why I don't really like this game's puzzles too much, because if they're not just really cryptic, then they end up reusing the same kinds of aesthetics. Like, they use the same kinds of color puzzles too much. or they use the same kind of where was I going with that? Great. That is one thing I so dislike. It's not even funny. It's just my brain goes. My brain goes. Hey, vey. I'm trying to think of something else that I was talking about during this recording session. During one of the cuts, I was gonna be like doing the I'm back, but in the, like I was gonna cut it off in the middle of it. It's like I'm not doing that. Christ. I'm doing this in post. I should have had like a script in front of me, but I'm doing this on the same day, so like, well, what am I supposed to write to make this kind of thing interesting anyway? But here we get an item that I was really surprised it was in this game, the Cane of Samaria. Sadly, yeah, like in Link to the Past, it creates blocks out of nowhere, but sadly, swiping it a second time doesn't make the block separate into a bunch of magical bullets. Which would have been a great weapon since this thing doesn't have magic power. This game doesn't have magic power of any sort. Here we get another key, which we'll use a little bit later. I think this is when we start to really buff up our key count. I forget where we go from here. I mean, it was just a couple hours ago, but I still forget exactly what we did. I was just skimming through when I was, yeah. probably went in this room like 3 or 4 times before forgetting. Oh yeah, that's where the nightmare is not a nightmare, you stupid idiot. Okay. It's like calling them shine sprites. This is. Anyway. I went through here to get to a puzzle that well, not a puzzle exactly. I forgot. I was like, wait a minute, I can't go this way. That's right, but oh, yeah, I can use the block as a stepping stool. That's something you couldn't do in Link to the Past. Yeah, get down here, take out the cane that I couldn't find even though my cursor was right on it, and then jump on up. Keys, disease, get out. But at this point, I didn't even care. Didn't expect to find bubbles there. If you're supposed to be able to jump over those, then the window of opportunity is really short. Yeah, you're able to use a lot of your weaponry throughout a lot of this game, but it ends up feeling recycled as a result. That's what the criticism I was trying to make regarding this game's puzzles is. Anyway, we're in here. This puzzle ended up stumping me for a little bit. I tried to look it up. Well, actually, I didn't look it up. I was just derping around for a little while, for a little too long, figuring out like, okay, these are moving on their own. When you move one, they move the other. And I figured, okay, we need this block here in order to make in order to have them both. I was like, no, we probably need to get it so we don't, or yeah, I cut over to here where it ended up clicking with me. We can use the Samaria block to block the other thing here. So they stop being in sync. Block it that way, and we can put the second block onto here, and from this we get another key. And here I'm looking around. I was making sure. I was surprised that we didn't have the compass yet. We get the compass rather late in this dungeon. I think it's actually the mini boss prize, if I remember correctly. If we cut to that over here, yep, we do. Well, actually no. Going back here, using this, it actually clicked to me rather quickly that we would use the Samaria block as a judge of where the pathway was to the chest. And it took a little while. Then I'm looking at this correctly. It took maybe like a minute and a half to do. Ended up falling a couple of times in the process. I didn't like what happened here because like it was kind of screwed. I didn't think I would be able to. Yeah. That there's a wall there, so you can't move the thing. And I ended up walking off the thing, and it was dumb. I knew enough to dispel the block by casting it over a pit. If they couldn't program in the magical bullets, they should have made it so that one cast creates the block, another cast gets rid of the block, as opposed to just making it every time you swing the thing. I mean, they definitely they showed other kinds of prowess when programming the game. I would think that it would have a little bit better foresight. So yeah, this is almost. This isn't surprising. This isn't too difficult at all, thankfully. You'll get I think this is the last key we need for the rest of the dungeon. Show myself getting my way back the quick way before we cut to the next door that I had previously been to, which was over here. And here we have another reused piece of material from Link's Awakening. This particular, the ball-throwing boss. Though there's a little bit of a twist. It's on a timer. It doesn't disappear every time it's thrown. It disappears a set amount of time, but it won't disappear like in your hands unless you're like just picking it up. So it made this boss a little bit more difficult, coupled with the larger arena, so that it made him a little bit harder to hit. Never mind the different throwing arc and all that stuff. He's not too hard of a boss. I didn't mess up on him as royally as I did with the Moblin King. And surprisingly, like I had said before, yeah, I save here, no surprise there after that last rage quit. Up here we start having these, I guess, dark nuts? I'm not sure what to call these guys. I end up mixing the two up. The two names. Iron Knuckles, that's the other name, the armored knight name thing. Yeah, up here we get the compass. And that's where we end off this video.